I'm Tim Herrera with the Sacramento County Office of Education, here with another Teacher of the Year profile. We're speaking with Robert Brewer, one of two Teachers of the Year from the Elk Grove Unified School District. Thanks for joining us.
Thank you.
Tell us a little bit about yourself. Tell us where you teach and what you teach.
I teach at Florin High School. I teach algebra this year, physics and AP Physics. But for most of my career, I taught algebra intervention classes.
Explain what that is, algebra intervention.
It means that the students generally have struggled tremendously in middle school, usually F's and D's in their classes, maybe low scores on their standardized tests, and they were scheduled in a 2-hour class or a 90-minute class instead of a single 1-hour class.
And so explain how the intervention works and what you do differently there to bring the students up to where they should be.
A lot of times what I found with intervention students is they're just upset with the system. They haven't found a lot of success in school and they don't believe that their next class will make them any more successful. So one of the things I do with students is I work on their mindset, getting them to believe that the class can be successful. And I get to incorporate lots of the kinesthetic activities and those types of things in the class that you wouldn't normally have time to do in a regular class. So we get to play more games, do a lot more review, just basically have more fun. And at the end of the day, the kids learn more because their anger toward math is lessened. So they hear what I'm saying a little bit easier.
So you try to eliminate the frustration, and when you take away the frustration, their eyes and minds open up a little bit more?
Yeah, sometimes it's frustration. Other times it's just anger. Some of the kids haven't found school to be a very good experience. Maybe they haven't been treated fairly by a teacher in the past, in their view. And sometimes if you just reach the kids and talk to them about being a little more successful, giving it their all, that goes a long way.
And so by doing that and providing that support, what kind of results do you see in the student?
I wish I could say they all blossom. Some do, some don't. But most of the students turn around. Most of the students like the class, really enjoy it. I don't have a lot of discipline problems because the kids have a good time. They like learning. They like coming to class. And eventually, what I really like is most of the students by the end of the year say, wow, that was a really fun class. I hope you're my teacher next year, which is great. It's a huge compliment.
So what do you do for those students that you had mentioned that not everyone blossoms the way you'd like? What are some of the things you do to try to motivate those students who need a little extra nudge?
Anything that I think will work. From smiles and discussions outside of class to calling home and making positive phone calls. I had one young lady tell me a few years ago, Mr. Brewer, you made my mom cry. She said, I've never gotten a positive phone call before in my life. And it's just the little things. It's staying with them. And a lot of times with students, it's just knowing that every teacher says that they're going to stick with students and they're not going to give up. But some students know that if they can just press your buttons a little bit, you're going to give up. And so for some students, you just have to show them that you're more determined than they are, that you're not going to give up. And it takes time. You have to continue to be positive, continue to work with those students over time, and that's what gets them to turn around. There's no magic bullet. It's just being persistent, being caring, and continuing to help them even when they sometimes act like they don't want to be helped.
And when they act like they don't want to be helped, does that motivate you more?
It frustrates me. I'm human. Of course it frustrates me, but it's not personal. They're not mad at me. These kids have a lot of things going on in their lives that would frustrate any adult. And I feel like it's just understanding that they just need care. Having an ethic of sort of grace with kids and caring is what it takes.
So how long have you been a teacher?
This will be my 13th year. Lucky 13.
So in that span of time, what kind of changes have you seen in education, whether it's in the classroom or maybe with the students that you're working with these days?
I think one of the changes is the move towards sort of standards and accountability, especially for teachers. I mean, there's a lot of discussions about teacher evaluations being tied to standards and those types of things. So that's one of the changes, and that's sort of changed the conversation about standardized testing. Another change is the budget. We've gotten poor. I used to have classes with 20 students. Now my classes are 46. That has a huge impact on our ability to work with individual students. There's no doubt about it. That's a negative trend.
So what do you do in those situations where you really feel kind of overwhelmed? You have to just keep moving forward.
You do the best you can. I have a physics class with over 40 students in it, and we do on-day, off-day labs. Half the students do a lab on Monday, the other half of the students do the lab on Tuesday, because I physically don't have the lab stations to accommodate 40 students at the same time. You just have to make accommodations and do the best you can.
With dealing with the students that you deal with, especially in the algebra classes, how important is it to have the family support?
It would be nice to have family support.
It's not always there.
I don't feel like it's necessary. If I have a student for 184 hours a year, I should be able to get that student to move. There's no excuses. At Florin High, we have 29 different home languages. I can't speak them all. I can't reach every parent. And sometimes, especially in high school, I think a parent's dream would be to never have to call the school at all. If their kids get good grades and they never had to make a single call to the school, that's probably the parent's dream. So I feel like, as sort of a secondary teacher, I should just do my job, teach the classes, get the kids to be successful. And if I get parent help and parent buy-in, that's fantastic. If I don't have parent help and parent buy-in, that's no excuse for failure. I should still work just as hard with those students as any other and push for them to be successful.
So for you, that's just an extra that would be nice to have.
Yeah, and I work hard to sort of get that support when I can. I make phone calls home, but some parents are busy. I mean, we work in an economically depressed area. 87% of the students are on free and reduced lunch at my school. Parents are working. They have other kids they have to deal with, sometimes younger kids. They don't have time to deal with every single thing that comes up, and I shouldn't expect them to. That's my job.
Now, have you always wanted to be a teacher? What motivated you to do this?
Oh, well, there are lots of motivations for wanting to be a teacher, but I think I just like the fact that I can make an impact with kids. I feel like I can make a direct impact as a high school teacher with students, and I feel like I make the world a little bit more of a fair place. I have issues with inequality and inequity, and I feel like there's a lot of it in our society. And education, I feel like, is one of the few places where you can actually sort of level the playing field. And by providing a really high quality education to the students I work with, I feel like, in my own small way, I'm contributing to sort of the betterment of U.S. society. And that's why being a teacher is fantastic to me. I get to contribute every day, and I really don't see another job where I can do that so directly.
Is it something you always wanted to do?
No. I wanted to do all sorts of different things, but I got an experience teaching as a graduate TA in graduate school, and I loved teaching the class. I loved working with the students, and after that, the game was over. It was just a matter of time before I got into a secondary classroom somewhere and made it my life's work.
It was the connection to the kids that really did it for you.
Yeah, that was it.
So what did it mean to you? What does it mean to you to be named a Teacher of the Year?
I'm still waiting for them to tell me there was a mistake. I really don't feel like there's anything that special about me as a teacher. I feel like I work really, really hard. I care about the students, but I know I don't even feel like sometimes I'm the best teacher in my department. I have fantastic people I work with. The people I work with are just amazing. I learn from them constantly, and it's an honor. It's just truly an honor to represent Florin High School, to represent Elk Grove, to be sort of the face of good teaching for Elk Grove for a year is, I feel like sometimes undeserved. I'm humbled, but it's great.
Now, there are a lot of people out there who are considering teaching as a career, whether they're in school now or maybe as a second career. What would you say to those people to kind of encourage them to really think about it?
Yeah, teaching isn't for everyone. You do 12 months of work in 10. A lot of people dream of teaching calculus, but you end up in Algebra 1. Not every kid loves teachers. They don't love school. You deal with management and all sorts of other stuff. But if you're willing, if you truly care about kids, if you have a passion for working with students and molding young lives, it's the right job. If you want to teach math, you should teach in community college. If you want to teach kids, high school's the place to be. And I think that as long as you're really focused, you're willing to learn, I can't think of a more rewarding career.
That sounds like a pretty good sales pitch.
I hope it dissuades some people too.
Well, because as you said, it's not for
everyone.
everybody, yeah. But you knew at some point in your life it was right for you.
Yes, absolutely.
Yeah.
And I still feel that way. I don't think I'd want to do anything else.
And so it's nice to come to work every day excited and facing new challenges. And
I do. Most days I like going to work. That's I don't know a lot of people who can say that.
yeah, that's a pretty good percentage.
I think almost every day I look forward to going to work. I'm human. There are days when I really don't want to go to work like everybody else, but most days I really enjoy the challenge that the kids present to me. I look forward to seeing how far I can push them and what I can do with them.
Well, we appreciate your time very much. We've been speaking with Robert Brewer, who is one of 2 Teachers of the Year from the Elk Grove Unified School District. Thanks for your time.
Thank you.